Hello and good evening, everyone. I am Gary Gonta. Welcome to P1's coverage of Round 13 of the inaugural season of the SimMotion ISRA Open Wheel Series as we come to you tonight from the home city of Joliet, Jake. We're in CHICAGOLAND Speedway where the championship remains tight as tight can be with only 2 races remaining. Do the championship contenders see a little bit of luck, or do they have a little bit of bad luck in this final race, which we're considering a wild card race on the schedule? Going to see a little bit of a pack race today, but it is a daytime race at CHICAGOLAND, and during the daytime, though, it typically does open up a little bit, and we won't see big groups, but still, the possibility is there. The track temps at 117 degrees Fahrenheit, 85 degrees ambient. It all has a feeling of the conditions of maybe not being a pack race, but we never know until we get this thing underway. Joining me in the booth is Luis Gonzalez Nunez. So, Luis, what do you think? Is someone going to be lucky today or unlucky? I can't hear you.
Oh, now I can hear me? Oh,
yeah, I can hear you.
I pressed the wrong button. Anyways, good evening for everyone again. It's gonna be, I don't know if it's gonna be a lucky, but I hope for Clendy don't be unlucky today because he is the main contender today. He can maybe, if he's a good man, have a bad luck today to maybe put 1.5 steps to proclaim the championship today. So we don't know yet, but for now it's lucky Candy because it's on pole position for actually we are 0 and now we are on grid now. So it's gonna be interesting. The temperature is not gonna be, the weather is not gonna be a factor for now. My God, yes, in 118 Fahrenheit because it's changing now. So yeah. It's going to be interesting when it's happening today. You mentioned pack race, who knows? But always CHICAGOLAND is tough, especially in the turn 2, the exit when it's always a slide.
Well, there are the points on the board. 10 points separate the top 2 drivers. 17 separate a third from second. Kirby in 4th, Rigney in 5th. So it's coming down to Clendy, Goodman, Wags, Kirby and Rigney here in the final, next to the final race of the season. Also still involved, though. I mean, mathematically out there, Richie Hearn still has a shot, but I think it really kind of stops there. But let's get in today's starting lineup. We get the points moved out of the way, and here we go. And on the pole is our points leader, Clendy, with a speed of 217.9. And right next to him, he's brought a little bit of help. His teammate from the IndyCar Oval Series, Ty Quilla, is going to line up next to Clendy to give a little bit of wingman help to our points leader this afternoon. Line up 3rd is Murphy. And 4th is Kirby. Mitchum and Goodman back on row 3, Forsyth and Dean Darth Maul on row 4. Rigney and Coker on row 5. We got Wags and Herrick on row 6. Hearn, he owns the place, remember. He's got the track record here. In real life, he's on row 7 with Ramsey, Rick, Ravon. We're going to see how quickly Ravon can get from where he's starting in row 8, where he's right next to Gary Lovern, Mark Amini, and Reagan in row 9. Gallas and Collins, Jacob Collins, also a little bit more help for Clendy in the lineup today. He is lining up in 20th. Callisto and Armstrong and Say Hey Lewis Hayes looking for another top 10 to kind of solidify a top 10 finish in the points in that blue and white P1 car. Very sharp looking paint job he's been working on. He's going to line up As the last car in the lineup here for 23 cars taking the green flag tonight.
Gonna be a really, really tough race, especially. But I always, when you're fighting for the championship, it's tough for these two guys, and Wagner also too. So it's really make everything tense, especially with two to go, especially two to go include this. So that's why it's really intense race for Clendy. It's a home race also, but he want to make the point today. Maybe could be the championship today.
Here we go, green flag in the air, and right away, Clendy gets to the front and shoots to the top and aids his teammate a little bit of draft as they stay high through turns 1 and 2. And now Murph is hung out to dry on the bottom. Kirby, good to stay in the spot there and follow on through. Here comes Quilla with a good run. He has now cleared Murph on the high side, move him to second. Here's Murph, Clendy, Quilla, Murph, and now Kirby as Murph goes to the low side in the 1.
I remember in 2021 in Lionheart Series, we did 134 laps and that day. So I started at 29 and I finished 6th on that day. So it's really the condition and that day was kind of the same, almost the same what I see today. But it's almost close Kirby on, yeah. Oh, okay. Like how many moves you can do on one line. So anyway, it's really the same thing could be happening today. Back race, I remember it was a back race that day with Phil Kraus, Maleska over there around me. So it really was a tough race. So today could be, like you said, it could be a back race. We see today, but you know, the condition is always the first 10 laps, everybody's fast. I will say that. Everybody with new tires fast, but when progress the time, the race is different for the people conserve the tires to the people put less. Burn the tires. That's the word.
Rick Ravon consecutive laps going purple. He has moved up to 10th. Bringing with him is Matty Wagner. Matty Wagner and the old Raul Boisel throwback. When he drove for Dick Simons Motorsports, the Duracell Charger. Up front, it is Clendy, his wingman Quilla. Then we have Murphy. Mitchum has now worked his way up to 4th. Kirby now in 5th. Forsyth 6th. Mall 7th. Goodman 8th. Rigney in 9th. And Ravon in 10th. Your biggest mover of the race is Jacob Collins in the plain white wrapper. Jacob has moved up 8 spots already to 12th, and he wants to get up in that lead pack and join his teammates. He's also a IndyCar Oval Series teammate too, Clendy and Quilla. So he will want to get up there and to join that battle and to help them out and try to lock out the first 3 positions. Lap 7 of 125, and it has been Clendy the whole time, being protected by Quilla, and now Kirby to the bottom underneath Murph, trying to get that position. Murph hanging tough on the high side.
This is the problem when the setup is kind of like these conditions. Clendy followed the IRL line, and they don't want to lose that line until the pit stop in green flag, if it's happened or not. But for now, it's Holly over there. We have a 1 lap down in 1 lap down. Actually, it's not lap down. It's Hugo Galas in there, try to keep it in lap after failure connection for him. So, but Quilla getting the first on top now.
Yeah, Quilla goes to the top point. He will get credit for leading this lap. The rule set for tonight, this is a 1.5 mile quad oval. Actually, tri-oval, not a quad oval. 125 laps. We're doing about 187.5 miles. Unlimited tires, 75% fuel, 1 fast repair, pit road speed limit. is 45 miles per hour. Richie Hearn does have the real world track record here, set back in 2003. He took a lap of 223.159, and that still stands to this day. So there is your real world track record holder right there, and he is currently 17th in line behind Mark Amini, with Chris Reagan, his teammate, to the outside. And right behind him, Jim Herrick, his team owner, right behind him. Mark Murphy now to the point. We will be pitting off of, under green flag conditions, off of turn 3. So before they go into turn 3, they will be needing to come down to the apron. So be on the lookout for that when we get closer to green flag pit stops. We're going to be kind of in that lap 30 to 35 territory, and this is a very slippery apron.
Yeah, it's really slippery. Especially when you a lot of banking, it's not a lot of, but they have a banking in here. When you go to flat, the car is getting crazy and crazy around on the flat pavement. So it's gonna be tough, especially when the dash really narrow entry to the left in the pit road. And you mentioned last time when we went in the broadcast, you mentioned about the breaks between road course and the oval.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be tough when the moment you break the car, it's gonna be still going. So they need to break before. I prefer to lose time than have a black flag in this condition.
Yeah, and then the major difference that he talks about there on the super speedway here, these cars have really small brake discs. They don't require to have the stopping power that they need on road courses. On road courses, they have much bigger brake discs. They have them much smaller here. So the car is not as easy to slow down here at Chicagoland than it would be, say, going to someplace like Road America. Riding with Rick Ravon up 7 spots to P8 for the Rockets, as he is right behind Darth Maul, Mason Mitchum, and Craig Forsyth.
2-3 way on the back. Ravon in the middle. Now it's 2 way. Dimol, he decided to give up. It's kind of dangerous over there.
Yeah, it's kind of very, not vicious racing, but aggressive racing up at the front. Everyone is working at keeping their spot. Rick, you hear him breathing the throttle a little bit going into 3. Now he has a run to Mitchum. He's going to go to the outside. Mitchum's not going to give him much room.
Oh, that's close.
And he's going to come out of the corner, and you get the draft of Craig and help pull him along. Move Rick now up to 6th. We continue to ride with him. Speed's never dropping below 200 miles an hour.
So Ravon now is in 228 at the moment he coming to the turn 1 in draft. So it's really, really fast.
Oh, in the dirty air of Craig. And we hear Rick grabbing a gear, going down. Oh, Murphy blinking. On the high side of Forsyth. Forsyth wants to close the door. Rick's close enough. Now for Forsyth to the inside of Clindy. Dirty air for Rick. He has a big lift out of that one. Forsyth up another position as he gets around Clindy. You can hear the run that he gets. There you go. He shifts a gear.
Reagan Mimble Black. He hit the wall.
Oh, yes, he does.
Yeah. Hit the wall and exit on turn 2. Slice. Oh. You remember it happened in 3 races ago when you said it's so weird when you turn the wheel to the left and they go to the right, very violent.
Yeah.
Same happened with Reagan. Same, same.
So he caught the car, and then when he caught the car, it immediately went back to the wall. So he needs to answer the black flag here in about inside of 5 laps. He probably needs another 3 more laps before he can answer that flag. But we'll see him come to pit road now as he gets down off the banking and onto the apron. Meanwhile, up front, Murph is your leader. Tyquilla second, Kirby third, as we are 3 wide. And here's Rick Ray Vaughn to the high side over Quilla. And move Rick up to second.
I hope it don't overheated the tires. Rick Raven now is first with 14 spot gain, but remember, I don't know which race he was first for a long time, and then he Clendy won the race, and
Iowa.
Murphy, and he heated the tires. It wasn't Iowa. I wanna let you know which one. It was first. And the Clendy and Murphy have a work together to try to don't leave Raven to win. I'll let you know which race it was.
But Rigney has changed his livery so he doesn't look like a teammate of Justin Kirby's. He's gone to a gray and red livery. Kirby's fallen back to 8th. Collins now up to 9th. And right with them is the main combatant here in the points championship to Clendy, and that is Michael Goodman. He is in the 10th spot. Also bringing up forward is Wags.
I'm pretty sure it was in Kansas when Rick Raven went from.
Oh, Maul in the wall! And he's missing a front wing. So what happens? When did he lose the front wing?
Oh,
Did Clendy come up? Oh, he did.
Oh, the problem is you get. Okay, Did Mole went so fast, but Clendy went exit for the turn 2 slow. That's what you have to prevent when you're going to make the turn too close to the wall. That's the problem.
Dean Darth Maul not happy. He goes and answers pit road and immediately punches out. So he is not very happy.
It is in F. He left the car.
We have 22 cars still remaining. Lap 29 of 125. Very quickly, just like that. Less than 100 laps to go already. It's Rayvon, Murphy, Quilla, Forsyth, and let's see. Rayvon, Murphy, Quilla, Forsyth, and Clendy. There we go. And Rigney now up to 6th. Jacob Collins now up to 7th. Collins up 13. Go ahead.
Let me tell you, if it's this in the real life, Clendy should have a pension. So a flat tire for that instant.
Yeah, a puncture. Yeah, you're right.
And but iRacing forgive him. Actually, forgive a lot of people. We saw yesterday many incidents for the same thing, including on Tuesday nights also. But yeah, it's really maybe have a contact for 4. But sometimes they give you a damage in the car on the back. Sometimes it's really weird.
And let's get the fast laps off there. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to have the fast laps up there hanging out. Now we got the intervals behind the leader. And it might be easier to see the gaps and see where some of the closer battles are. Back there with Goodman and Callisto and Wagner, there's a close battle occurring back there as Wags now gets around Goodman. Here comes Callisto. Callisto, the inaugural Truck Series and Xfinity Series champion. Kirby back to 11th. Let's give you back to intervals here throughout the field. Currently the top 10 separated by 4.8 seconds. But right now, your man at the point is Rick Rayvon. Rick, he's not doing himself any favors by being the leader. He is definitely using the most fuel. And I got to think everyone behind is doing some degree of fuel saving.
I think so, Rayvon. We figured out. I already knew him. He's the kind of guy, he wants to enjoy the race and just going for the front. It doesn't matter how the story it is. Pity for Rayvon is coming now.
So lap 36, and to answer Brent's question, there is your...
Yeah.
He says fuel window. What's the fuel window? And there it is, right there. Oh, there it is. There it is. There. Oh, look at him grab it. Look at him grab the wheel. Working in the cockpit. God. You can see it in the graphics there. Very good. Very good.
Hey, it's a Tokyo Drift, basically. You can put the music in that for Rick Rayvon. What a save, really. Good save on Rick Rayvon over there. For sure, we're going to have maybe 2 or 3 more people do the same thing. Maybe some of them could be go to the track. So that's the disadvantage of Rick Rayvon to coming in. Could be a good way to...
Tyquilla. Here comes Tyquilla.
But who knows? Gary Lover is coming also too.
Good job by Tyquilla. Gary Lover, good job for Gary. So again, a very dangerous pit entry here at Chicagoland.
And also the exit. To be honest, the exit is really tough. If you have to use the inside line to try to go a little fast. Some of use the right side close to the racetrack.
Well, we'll actually watch Tyquilla as he comes out, down and away. Scheduled stop for Ty.
But Armstrong also is in the pit.
Ty does a good job there. So Stretch now coming to pit road. He's on pit road right now.
Murphy also too. Oh, Quilla? Crash? Oh no. Okay.
Willa, he should be okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he showed me crash. I don't know.
Oh, Murphy blinks out on pit road. Now he's back. He's coming down with Rigney. Also Marcamini on pit road. I believe that's one of, is that Jacob Collins coming off of pit road? Yeah, Jacob Collins coming off of pit road. He's going to join Rigney out. So Craig Forsyth, your leader. Now he goes to pit road. He's going to bring Wags with. So 2 throwback liveries. That's how you do it. Also on pit road, Lionel Callisto.
Oh, no.
So Michael Goodman going long.
Dane Coker.
Black flag, speeding on pit road.
Yes.
And here comes Goodman to answer the call to pit road for him. Who?
And he saved it, Matias Marcomini. Saved it and the exit on the pit road. Oh, spoon again. Was in the exit on the pit road for him.
Here comes Goodman. And now we'll turn the lead over to, actually not, Devin Ramsey comes in. Say Hey Lewis Hayes comes in. Schedule stops, and that will turn the lead back over to Rick Rayvon. So the early stop not hurting Rick.
pretty.
And he extends his lead by a large margin.
4 seconds over Murphy. Yeah.
Now, can he? We saw this before. A big lead by someone that was extremely fast over on the Elite Racing Network last week when we were broadcasting the Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series, basically California 500. And he had a huge lead, but he was burning fuel so much more than everyone else that at the end of the day, he ended up needing to make another stop. And even though he really dominated the middle portion of the race and led a ton of laps, his finish was not indicative of what the type of race he had in terms of being out in the lead and such by a large margin. Are we going to see that with Rick today? Does Rick have enough space between him and Mark now, who's in second, to back it down a little bit and save some fuel?
It was Gabby Gibbs to
Gavin Hibbs, yeah.
First, yes. So, it's really tough question because, Murphy is one of the pros. I don't want to say it's professional, but he's one of the guys know how to do it, and that's why he did that. So we don't know what is the strategy he have inside the car. But again, with one yellow, could be change everything. Like a Clendy is coming for 3Y, going to the front. I think so. He aboard the 3Y still, 3Y with the Rigney over there. But
almost 4 wide. And I mean, these guys look like they are trying to conserve fuel, and I don't know why they're not in line. I mean, this is basically second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, and 11th in here.
Yeah, so I already calculate everyone he need to come in for one pit stop. So I said this is lap 49.50. Should be coming in lap. Oh my God, 85 maybe, 85, 86. All of these guys, but Rick Braven is different story.
So yeah, let's look at the lap times that they're turning. Rick is turning 25.7s. Everyone behind him are turning 27s. So Rick turning laps in the 25-second bracket. Everyone else turning laps in the 27-second bracket. So Rick now already out to a 12-second lead, and everyone else is just pacing themselves, trying to save some fuel so they can do this in one more stop, whereas it looks like Rick is on a pace that he's going to have to stop 2 more times.
Exactly. I already calculate. It's going to be the next time by. It's going to be on the lap. In 20 more laps, he have to coming in. And when is he coming, it's going to be for 50 to go. So it's going to be super, super short. The only way to come back to the race, we need to have a caution in this race.
Well, I'll tell you what, that other group behind him, they were racing almost ready to give him a caution, the way that they were racing. They really need to stay in line and be well behaved and then hope the caution doesn't come out. But they're still racing side by side a little bit further in the pack. Everyone just needs to get in line here if that's the plan.
Yeah, so for Raven, he needs to come in the lap 93. Does it say? No, sorry.
So yeah, he went 36.
My God, sorry.
He went 36 laps on his first stint.
73.
He pitted on lap 37, went 36 laps, and he is now 17 laps on his current stint. So he will be coming in about 20 laps or so, if not sooner, because when he was coming up through the field the first time, he had a lot of drafting help. And maybe was able to save, maybe a lap, maybe a half a lap. He's been out front in clean air the entire time this time, so he's had no help, and he's been on full burn. So will he be able to even do 36 laps?
It is short for 16 laps. Because the next time by for him is going to be 73 and 74. So then we're gonna have 50 to go over there, and then he need to, because he did 36. That's why I calculate. So 36 more, it's gonna be 16 short to go for him. So if we don't have a caution, it's gonna be same we saw last Thursday in ERN with Gabby Gibbs.
Gavin
Came
Hibbs.
for
Yep.
20 seconds on the front, and then he finished on the back with almost one lap down.
Murillo Family Fish. Is that Dan Murillo? Is that Dan Murillo in chat? Dan, if that's you. Oh, Rick in the wall off of 2. Dan, if that's you in chat, let me know yes or no if that's you. Matt Morello Family Fishing. If it is, it's someone that's raced with me and Rick going back to the 90s. If not, it's happens to be a coincidence. But your leader is Rick Ravon. Yeah, he is well out in front by 13 seconds over Rigney. He is not backed it down at all. He still continues to turn laps in the 25s. The second group now kind of re-entering the 25s a little bit, as they are now behind line of Rigney, Wagner, Clindy, and Kirby. Murphy back to 7th, Callisto 8th, Quilla 9th, Goodman in 10th. Okay, that's Mike Murillo. Okay, so Dan's my brother. Okay, so this is one of the Murillos that we did sim racing against back in the 90s. Rick Ravon and I did. So shout out to the Murillo family. Dan, good guy. Been a while since I've got a chance to see the rest of the fam, so hope everyone's doing good. The small world. We were sim racing before you were born, I think, Lewis.
Really?
We were doing sim racing back in the mid. He says, Dan's there. He's lurking. Yeah, we were doing sim racing back in the mid 90s. IndyCar Racing 1 and 2. We didn't have Chicagoland to race at back in the day, but
how you? That's my question. How you gonna make? How you made it? Sim racing in that time without have a sim racing that time.
So
and you already mentioned about the timing.
The only back then there was versus modem racing. You could go 1v1 versus someone on the modem, and the only other way that you could do like racing like this, we would get into our sims. We would get into the race and race the AI. We would all have the same conditions that we'd all have to face. And then we would submit our results at the end of our race, and then our results would be pitted against everybody else in the league. And for your sake, hopefully you didn't have a caution during your race, because if you had a caution, more than likely you'd have to run your race over, because there was always going to be cautions thrown in other people's races. So ideally, if you wanted to win, you really didn't want to have a caution during your race, but you had to have cautions on. And one of the way that you had to prove that you had cautions on is at the end of your race, you had to crash your car immediately and show the yellow flag waving and caution or damage on your car. So it was offline racing that we would compare our times at the end of doing our full race. So it was a lot different than we are doing it now, but it was a lot of fun back in the day.
And what kind of wheel, or if it's have a wheel? For sure they have a wheel. Because
I had a Thrustmaster T1 wheel, one of their original wheels, and then I also had, when that broke, I had one of their, of course, everything at the time was badged NASCAR. So they came out with they had a NASCAR badged wheel called the Thrustmaster NASCAR Pro wheel, I think. And I had that, and somewhere in this household I still have it. It doesn't do me any good to have it. It doesn't work, or I don't think you can use it on anything still. But we used wheels back in the day, but they weren't like the force feedback wheels that everyone has now.
Got it. To be honest, it's very interesting. I really to see how, it's really, really weird to thinking about it, how we entertain us in that time. I born in 1989, and for me it's like a different style, and now it's like cell phones and things. You born a long time ago from, and then you do all of this stuff, and I cannot put in my mind how, or imagine in my mind how it's gonna be to the sim racing by timing with, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yep. Well, Rick has joined the back of the field, and he is now with some lap traffic, and he can gain use of the draft to help the fuel mileage a little bit. We expect to see him on pit road about any time. He's 31 laps into the stint. Dan, who's speaking that knows me? Hey, man, it's Gary. You know, Gary Gonzo. This is my new gig. I don't drive anymore because I suck at driving. I do broadcasting, and I don't know how well I do on broadcasting either. I do marginally better. But there is our old pal Rick Rivon that we've known back in the mid-'90s as the leader of the race. He's broken out front, but he is going to have to pit before everyone else, and possibly one more time before coming to the end of this race, as he is in the draft of Say Hey Lewis Hayes. In the group that they are with, that's Hayes, Gallas, and Ramsey. Also just ahead of him a little bit, there is Pat Armstrong. So this is for 18th, 17th, 16th, and 15th spot on the grid right in front of our leader.
For now...
Oh, and here comes Ramsey to pit road.
For now, I have to say, Trendy. They need to bring the car on the checker flag, because Goodman have a very bad race for now. It's in 10th position, and that's the thing. He don't want to make it, so he don't want to do it. But this is the condition of the race we have so far for now. And the weather is really going again high. It's 120 Fahrenheit on track. So
okay,
really
on pit road, coming to pit road is our leader, and he is coming down the pit road with lap traffic in front of him in the form of Hugo Gallas. So that's going to slow down Rick a little bit, but it was a lot more controlled entry of the pit road than the first time he came down, where he was just sawing at the wheel. Here are your weather conditions: 85 degrees ambient, 120 on the track temp, as Rick tries to slow down, and he does hit his marks up on the jacks, a full set of tires, full tank of fuel, and he will be down and away. That will turn the lead over to Rigney, Wagner, and Clindy.
My God. Like I said, it's going to come in 72, so 73 now exit to the pit. And we are 52 to go. And he did 36 again. So it's going to be short for 16 to 15 laps for him. So now he need to wait for everybody make the pass for the pit road and return to the first position, and then have another yellow flag to save him to don't make another one to the end.
Well, and he still has a very fair shot of a caution happening when this whole second group comes to pit road, because we've seen how treacherous getting onto the apron is here. So there is still a high likelihood of a caution possibly popping up when the second group window opens. They are now 34 laps into much of their stints, with a lot of these drivers going 40 or more on their first stints.
Yeah, the problem is if the yellow flag is out, is gonna lose everything. I know it's 21 seconds on the lead, for sure. It's still the lap inside, but he cannot refuel again. The tank is still full tank. So, sorry, fuel is still full. So, it's going to be wasted time to coming in, put fuel for nothing.
Rick just went purple at a 2:16.4, so he is doing his best to lay down the big laps. I think he has a car in front of him that he's getting a little bit of drafting help from in the form of Devin Ramsey. There it is. Devin back in 19th. Coming to pit road, Rigney. Did he get? Oh, he got really close. But Rayvon again, 2:16.6 purple lap.
Oh, he crosses 58. 58 miles per hour cross Rickney the pit road.
Coker, Herrick also on pit road with extended stops. Getting damaged looked at, but he's down on the way. So that is, let's see. Is he going to be able to get home now? Let's see. We've got laps to go. Ooh, that's going to be close for Rigney. He went 37 on that stint, 41 on the first stint. So he might have to stop again.
They have to stop for at least make maybe 7 more laps. So it's going to be close for him. Actually, even close. It's going to be far for him. He needs to come in for sure.
So Wagner and Clindy staying out longer, 37, 38 laps for those two. Murphy in third at 39 laps. Forsyth, we know he knows how to save fuel. He's at 37 laps on his stint. Now just went 38. Kirby, our stock car veteran who has made the transition pretty successful to the Indy cars for this season. He is 39 laps into the stint. That is your top 5. Callisto, Goodman, Quilla, Richie Hearn in 9th, and Jacob Collins in 10th. The window is open for the second round of pit stops, and now that number is getting down to where they could possibly make it if they pit within the next, if they can go another 4 laps, another 5 laps or so, they could definitely go home with this final stop.
So, Quilla, can he make 43 now? That's for him. It's coming now.
Oh,
actually.
He's coming now. Careful. Bump in the middle of the corner there. Very slippery down there. We watch him sawing at the wheel. Now he needs to slow down before getting to the cones, and I think he did it. Ty Quilla coming to pit road with 43 to go. He went 43 on that last stint.
And we are 42 to go. 43 to go, actually.
Here comes Wags. Nice job getting down to the limit for him. Now Clindy out there with Forsyth. This might be your battle for the win. This might be your
Richie Hearn! What a save! You have to see that. Really good drift on Richie Hearn and coming into the pit.
He came down off the banking hot. Watch this. It starts sliding. He hits that bump, which it's not a very good feeling bump there when you're trying to slow down. And as he needs to turn the wheel more to make this radius to get on the pit road, he does a full-on Bo and Luke Duke slide. And he's coming to pit road, so good thing he's getting those tires replaced. Caution on the racetrack.
Kirby, maybe? It is Kirby.
And exactly what I told you, what would happen is it's going to happen during this exchange of pit stops. And he's coming up to speed. He's off the button, but he's trying to come up as fast as he can. The back end just comes around on cold tires. And that right there, that nose entering the racing line above the white line, that's what brought out the caution.
So, lucky tower for Rayvon. Somebody threw the tower from the corner. I said, there is for Rayvon, because really he need that, and they allowed to him to stay in the battle still. For sure, it's gonna be coming back, but he at least can be race for at least for something.
And Michael Goodman coming to pit road, our second man who's second in the points. As a very fortuitous drop of the yellow for his effort here. And he will be able to just make a very leisurely stop on pit road. He is joined by Lionel Callisto, our Xfinity Series and Truck Series inaugural season champion. He comes to pit road and tops off and gets a new set of tires. He's good to go to the end here. 39 to go. Now is going to be a good time to get in our final words here before we watch the sprint to the end. We want to get in a word here from Sim Motion, so we will be right back. We're going to go side by side. Stay with us.
With years of experience and a passion for customer service, Sim Motion is a trusted name for Sim Magic products. Whether you're just getting started or a seasoned pro, we have the gear to get you on the podium. At Sim Motion, we don't just sell gear, we feel your passion for sim racing.
And we are back here at Chicagoland as the waiver rounds are starting to commence. There you see these cars that were all at the tail end of the lead lap. They are getting the waiver round so the leader can pick up the pace car. But a development has occurred under caution. Rick Ravon came to pit road. We'll turn this over to you, LGN. I'm not sure exactly what happened. I was watching the production here of the stream, and I didn't see what he got the black flag for, but you say he came to pit road and has to go to the end of the longest line, and right now he has a whole bunch of cars that are trying to get in line behind him before we go green this time by.
Yeah, he still waited. So I see on the replay, Ramsey passed him, but he passed also Gary Lovner. So he tried to hold it, and then in the pit road, Gary Lovner hold it, and Raybon passed him, so he entered to the pit. So he's really confused. I don't know.
Yeah, we're going. He still has the black flag being shown, and we are going green. And we look horribly unorganized in the back of the field. But Goodman takes off. He is your leader, and is now Callisto. Rick Ravon needs to come to pit road at some form or another. We got another black flag out there. Gary Lovern is shown a black flag. Must have passed coming to the green flag. So he's going to answer that now.
I think, to be honest, maybe it's between each other about the black flag. They don't, when you're going to the back to the field, your pit your announcement said you have to pass somebody. But the moment you pass two cars, that sign is gone. So maybe they have an issue about iRacing pass somebody. I don't know. It's really weird.
This is a battle to get back on the lead lap for Wagner. And Goodman doesn't really hold him up and put up much of a fight. He knows that Wags is a full lap down. Wags now needs to hope for a caution. And Rick Ravon is to his box, and is he going to get a hold here? I think this is going to be a 40-second hold. Gary Lovern also 40-second hold. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, they have the opportunity to be over there, and now we have their Phoenix of Goodman come back with the bad 216, and now he's in the first place. The problem is they have Wagner on the front. You mentioned this. He wanna stay on the lead lap, but we already saw also Calisto. We didn't mention Leonel Calisto in the race for a long time, and now he's in the second place over there waiting for the opportunity. In between is Reagan and Clendy in third position over there. It's very interesting because Goodman and Clendy, they fight for the championship, and last team is Clendy is one step for the champion, and now is
caution on the racetrack. And I'm not sure where it happened. Kirby.
I hear Quilla say sorry.
Quilla, yeah, got into the back of him.
He says something about netcode.
It was pretty close. I mean, whatever it was, we could take a look at it here.
Ooh.
Maybe this is a better angle. Not quite. Oof. Wow, okay. Now things are getting interesting. Goodman was kind of saddled back into the bottom portion of the top 10 for much of the first part of this race. And he wasn't making up much ground. He was back there saving fuel. And he did a good job of doing that because he stayed out longer along with Callisto than everyone else before they came to pit road. They went out for 43 and 44 laps respectively. Well, everyone else had to answer pit road, and then that caution occurred. That cycled them to the front. And now Clindy, who is trying to extend the points lead as much as he can, either clinch tonight or take a big points lead to Indianapolis next week for Championship Monday. He is now in third, but being at the front for much of the first quarter of this race. Forsyth is in fourth, Murphy in fifth, Jacob Collins in sixth, Richie Hearn in seventh, Rigney in eighth, now Ty Quilla in eighth, Rigney in ninth, Hugo Gallas in 10th, as a number of drivers decided to come down pit road here at the back towards the back portion of the those on the lead lap to go ahead and throw a new set of tires. They should have enough fuel now to make it to the end. Rick is still 2 laps down, though. He's in 18th. And really only has the hopes of passing one more car, which is Mark Amini in 17th in that green and white car, that lime green and the white car right there. It's about the only way he can gain any other positions in this race.
What does it mean, interpolated laps? That's the word Kyle used and Murphy replied with. What does it mean, interpolated? Interpolated what? Interpolated, or something like that. He mentioned that, I don't know, in radio, so I don't know.
I don't know. I have to...
Mark make it fun because he didn't even know what is the kind of words that. So.
Devin Ramsey's shown the black flag for some reason, so I'm not sure what happened for him. But we are going to go green with 29 to go. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I haven't got a chance to say that yet. It's been quite the go race that we have, but that's kind of what happens when the IndyCar races come to Chicagoland. Remember, in real life, 4 of the top 10 closest IndyCar finishes have been here, including 3 of the top 4. And of course, the big wins leaders here when IndyCar did visit here were Sam Horner, Stan Weldon, Dario Franchitti. Each had 2 wins apiece here. If you've enjoyed P1's coverage of the SimMotion ISRA Open Wheel Series and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so don't miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcasts coming to the green. Hopefully for the last time, this race sprint to the end. It's Goodman, Callisto, and Clindy, joined by Murph and Forsyth.
Clindy going for attack. And he have over of Callisto. And now he going. Oh, Goodman have to defend the inside, but he want it. He don't want it. He gonna keep it outside.
Clindy picks up 2 spots on the restart. He wasted no time, and now the unfortunate thing is I don't think the high line is going to come in. I mean, the only person we saw exploiting the high line all race long, and that was the same when we visited. Oh gosh, they're about banging wheels further back in the field at Charlotte as well. Was Ray Vaughn. Rick for some reason lives and eats, breathes, sleeps, drinks, whatever, and exploits everybody on the high side here at these racetracks. But Clindy, he is controlling the bottom line, and that's typically how these races are done here. When we cover officials, is whoever gets to the bottom in IndyCar, you're gonna get the spot. You're gonna hold on to the race. You're gonna control the pace. You're gonna control the lead. We'll see as they race side by side behind him. It is Goodman and Callisto. Goodman in the draft of Clindy.
I have to say this. Look at that Clindy. The car is going up. If we have somebody on the side by side, he cannot hold the first line and the IRL line. You mentioned that, so it's still going up. Now it's still in his line, but somebody
Forsyth.
can squeeze him.
Forsyth got to the high side of Goodman. I think surprised Goodman a little bit. And Murph has a decision to make. Who do I follow? And I think he's going to follow Forsyth.
Goodman is gonna lose another position with Murphy, but bad decision on the Goodman to don't protect the inside line, and now he's in 4th position over there.
19 cars still on the track. 13 on the lead lap. Mitchum, last car on the lead lap at 13th. Ballisto pulls alongside Clindy. Clindy comes up a little bit. Doesn't allow Callisto to crowd him a little bit coming into the corner. So he can arc in there. There you see what the bottom line does here at Chicagoland off of 2. Clindy has a slightly better launch. Now they're joined by Forsyth. Clindy about a half a lane off the bottom, trying to give himself a little room so he can't get crowded by Callisto. Callisto up high. Callisto looking for his first win in the IndyCar ranks. If he does, he becomes the first to win at the Truck, Xfinity, and IndyCar level, I believe.
Nice.
Right now, our only dual winner right now is Wags. Wags is the only one to win at the IndyCar and at the truck level, I believe, if I remember that right.
Yeah, he won in Atlanta. I think so.
In the trucks,
season.
yeah, last season, in the last season 2 of the trucks. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit further back, 2 of the Rogue Racing teammates to Clindy in 7th and 8th is Collins and Quilla. They're going to get back in line and try to get to the front to help their teammate.
Listo.
Oh,
lose on exit on turn 4.
Let's go back and look and see what happened. As Clinty's given himself a lot of room, and he's a half a line off the bottom, half a car width off the bottom. Oh, he got loose, and you see him catch it. Nice job by Callisto.
The tire is for him is overheated, so he needs to going back and try to readjust the inside adjustment for in car.
Dan Murillo's keeping an eye on Richie Hearn, who's back in 6th. The man with the track record here in real life. And Craig Forsyth to the lead on the high side over Clindy.
Nice.
We're going to go back and watch that. He got a good run off the high side. Clindy wanted to come up and arc in and then realized Forsyth was there and couldn't make the arc he wanted. And then Forsyth, with a head of steam, drops in and takes the lead.
He didn't even attempt to squeeze him, but he at least pretended to do it, and that's why Clindy, he decided to leave the throttle and leave Forsyth to take the lead for now.
Forsyth so close to multiple wins this season, on the podium multiple times, still looking for that first dub as he's running side by side with Clindy. Now Clindy gets the position back. Let's update you on the weather. It is 119 degrees track temperature, so I'm thinking the used older tires, as they get warmer, the bottom's not the way to go. We'll continue to watch and see if the IRL line rules, as we are 16 to go. It is Clindy, Forsyth, Callisto, Murph, and Goodman. Goodman doing the best thing he could do, is that's just keep Clindy in his sights. That's the best thing he could do.
So with 15 to go, do you know, Gary, we are 270 days to go for the Hoosier 500 on December. I said good? The Hoosier?
The Hoosier 500, that's right. December.
Hoosier. It's the worst. Okay.
In December,
I come to
P1
practice.
Broadcasting becomes a primetime home for happy hour at the Brickyard, your nightly destination for all the action leading up to the prestigious PRI Hoosier 500. The last kiss of the bricks for 2025 starts here. The countdown is on, as you heard. 270 days. Pucker up and don't miss a second of the action. Like, share, and subscribe to stay locked in. And we will see you in December at the PRI Hoosier 500 right here on P1. Richie Hearn down low, getting the position on Goodman. He does not want that.
Goodman lose position over there. Really. Oh, it's loose. Ooh,
Whoa, he
Goodman is
got
loose
it.
on turn two.
He caught it.
Same on happened with Callisto. Really tough. Too much weight jacket. I don't know what are you supposed to do.
And now there's motivation for Clindy's teammates who are right behind him now with Ray Vaughn in the middle of them. So it's Quilla, one of Clindy's teammates. Then you have Ray Vaughn, who's 2 laps down. And then the white car behind you have is Jacob Collins. That's another one of Clindy's teammates. They want to get in front of Goodman here to put Goodman down multiple spots and to pad Clindy's lead. Once again, if you're just joining us, you're watching P1's coverage of round 13 of 14 of the Sim Motion ISRA Open Wheel Series, coming to you from Chicagoland, where currently Clindy is the leader with just over 10 laps to go. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you'll miss out on the next race. Now, Callisto up front on the high side, getting an edge over Clindy.
I think again, turn 2 is the dangers for now for everyone. Especially, look at that Clindy. I don't want to use the first line. I want to use the second line. I don't want to go over there and reheat my tires. I want to keep it there, and that's when Clindy do it. Just going too high, too low, and don't reheat the tire.
Well, he's now actually got himself a little bit of a cushion over Callisto. Callisto wanted to go low in the 1, decided against it, stayed high. Now getting the dirty air from Clindy, and that didn't help his exit, as Clindy now out a leader by 2/10, as now Forsyth starting to get back into the battle with Callisto. Clindy looking for win number 6 of the season.
Looks like so easy. If you see on the back of my camera, I see it looked easy, but it's really tough.
Here's Ty Quilla. Here's Ty Quilla on the low side of Goodman, and he puts Goodman down another spot.
Goodman is going back and back down. So I think so for the championship, it's not really good for him for now.
Nick shouts out Mark.
Oof.
Nick Sadiq shouts out Mark Murphy. Mark hanging out back there, just watching everything unfold in front of him. Six to go. Big lift for Mark, down the 4th gear on the corner. Coming off the corner, up the 5th, now in the draft of Forsyth. He needs to get the pull from Forsyth, to pull alongside and move this group forward. 5 to go. Now the snake starts to happen down the backstretch.
I think Callisto have to stick in the 3rd line when he used now, to try to return to try to get the victory today. That's the line.
This is Clindy's home track. He badly wants a win here. Down the backstretch again with the snake. Callisto tries to reel him in. 4 to go, coming to 3 to go. Off the corner, looking to extend the points lead and get win number 6 this season in the ISRA, the Sim Motion ISRA Open Wheel Series. Again, side by side through the corner. Up on the high side, Callisto. And I just don't think Callisto has the tires in order to pull that pass off. But we're going to go side by side, wheel to wheel into turns 3 and 4. We're going to come to 2 to go, just like this.
So I think he have the will, but also he have experience to know how beat Clendy. And the bet for him is try to leave Clendy on the first line, the IRL line, and don't leave to him to try to go into the second line. Now he didn't now. So the best for him is squeeze him on the first line.
Coming to the white flag this time by a mile and a half to go to decide it with one more race to go after today. Side by side, here we go. In the 1 and 2, it is Callisto up high, Clendy down low. Clendy with the run off the corner. He stays low. He goes to the white line. Does that interrupt his momentum? They're going to bang wheels going into turns 3 and 4. That actually puts Callisto into the wall a little bit. Clendy off the corner. Does Callisto have enough momentum to get there? No, he doesn't. Clendy down to the apron, and he wins at his home track. A home game for Clendy. Win number 6, and he extends his points lead in the ISRA championship.
Clendy lose the car on exit on turn 2. That's why he lose the car. He went to the left, he crossed the line, and then in turn 3 he tried to recover, and I think it's race deal. You know, the last lap everything could be do it, and everything is open to do it. I know it's nothing dirty, it's just basically race deal. Both of them hit it, try to Clendy protect the position, and maybe Callisto in his mind maybe thought Clendy is down, and that's why he have a contact over there. I don't want to put like one for each other, just in the middle of there.
And there is Clendy with the win, Callisto second, Forsyth in third, Murphy in fourth. Hey, Richie made it to fifth. Ty Quilla sixth, Michael Goodman in seventh, Rigney in eighth, Wagner in ninth, and Jacob Collins. 3 Rogue Racing guys in the top 10. He comes home in 10th. Hugo Gallas, 11th. He had a bit of a rough day to recover to 11th. That's a good finish for Hugo there. Say hey, Lewis Hayes in 12th. Mason Mitchum 13th. Reagan 14th. Pat Armstrong 15th. Rick down at 16th. Not indicative of the day he had. He is the first car 2 laps down and got as much as he could there. Marcamini in 17th. Lover in 18th. Ramsey 19th. Kirby, not a great day, and I'm sure he's not very happy in 20th. Herrick in 21st, Coker 22nd, Dean Darth Mall. Not a happy day for him either as he comes home in 23rd.
So in 1 hour, exactly 1 hour, Clendy won the race. And the driver of the day for Callisto, 1919 spot today from back to the front. Again, doing the same thing we saw on the track series and also in the IndyCar when he started from the back, and he did a good job.
He does. That is like his MO. You're right. That is definitely like his MO.
It's no quality challenge. That's the word.
That's his modus operandi. So that's when I say his MO. That's what he's kind of known for. He starts at the back and he drives us. You know, it's almost if you're going to be that good, qualify, and that's less cars you have to pass. Well, ask him why he doesn't qualify. Maybe he likes the first challenge.
I think. Let me put this on the table. If we have a good field with good people and trust people, I definitely are gonna do it. But if you have a people you don't know, and every time they have an incident, it's always started on the back and blah, 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 I prefer don't do it. I just started on the front. Doesn't matter if it's 10 or 12, but at least I have another 11 or maybe 2 or 5 cars on front to me with a lot of experience and trust in between when you do a side-by-side. That's why Callisto maybe trust for everyone, all of these 23 cars over here, and do this no quality challenge.
Well, let's bring in Craig Forsyth into the booth if we can find him. I don't see. There he is. Let's bring him up. And here is Craig Forsyth finishing third. Another podium, sir. You seem to have a bunch of them this year or this season. We thought that possibly a win was in the cards. Certainly when you were racing Clindy there right before one of those kind of cautions that kind of came out that kind of screwed the fuel save and everything. But once racing resumed, you kind of got shuffled back but recovered and brought her home third, which is another very stereotypical Craig Forsyth performance. But at some point, you're going to want to win this season, or at least get the win sometime here in the future.
Yeah, no, I think I'm going to need a happy accident to happen to you know, guys like Kyle and stuff to clearly get the. It was a great battle. I cooked my tires. I'm prone to doing that at this track, so I had the clean air, and it was, I mean, good. I was looking forward to the fuel save battle that was going to happen. Once that was out, and it was just going to be a map one battle to the end, I knew I was probably going to be at the disadvantage, but was going to try my best to keep it up. But I could just feel the tires getting less and less happy as the stint was going on, and the guys, you know, around Kyle and Lionel and Mark, like, they just, the way they were able to arc the corners better, they were carrying more speed on the exit than I was able to do, and that's just part of me being too lead foot on a track like this, which just creates that the tire burn. And once you start wearing the right front, it's an accelerating dilemma that you've put yourself into.
It's interesting. You kind of got the fuel save portion mastered pretty well, but still struggling at the tire save portion. Is that something that maybe continue practicing, working on, or something?
Yeah, I have to, like, the problem with the fuel save, of course, I mean, to do the proper fuel save, you need to be in the traffic. Like, I think it was the second stint when I came out, and I was like, came out way ahead of everyone. And I'm like, well, this is the worst possible thing that could have happened. And I think there was a whole like 10-lap segment there where everyone was playing hot potato over no one wanted to pass me. Everyone was like,
right.
No, let Craig lead, let Craig lead. It's like, I do not lead, guys. And it was, you know, it was just a matter of waiting for there was going to be someone in that pack that either already knew they weren't going to be able to make it regardless, or was just tired with that happening. But the guys, you know, there was the group of 6 of us that we were going to make it. So there's no way we were going to ruin that by going. Mm-hmm. So it just had to get, you know, rearranged enough that one of those guys that couldn't make it was able to get up enough through the pack to finally take the lead and start pressing ahead again. I think that was probably the most dangerous time of the entire race. I mean, when everyone's tooling around in map 5 at half throttle, yeah, that's in a car this twitchy. I mean, and we did it cleanly, and no one touched each other. That shows the high level of driving that, you know, these guys are able to put on week in, week out.
Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. You always have them there. They always do a good job at supporting you and you supporting them. Give you an opportunity to shout them out for this P3 here today.
You betcha. You know, I mean, Jim didn't have a good night. We're thinking after three bad results in a row this week. We're now going to start looking at hardware issues. We've decided it can't just be Jim. So no, he thinks he's got a drag on his brake pedal. So that's why it's he's starting to notice that he was down on top speed for no explanation at all. So we're going to investigate that, because that seems that's not good to have. But I mean,
check out the good folks at SimMotion if you ever need a new set of pedals.
Also true. Someone's going to walk away with them. It won't be me, but someone this season will. So good on SimMagic for SimMotion.
SimMotion, yep, and there's some magic gear, yep.
Those on, and yeah, that's it. But no, Jim at 4D Racewear, the whole crew there. He's got a new set of gloves coming out shortly, I believe. And I mean, we had the whole team out here. We had Devin, and I mean, Richie was able to come home in 5th, so great result for him. And Chris, I think, yeah, Chris finished 14th. He had some issues on the pit cycle that caught him down. But and then yeah, right, and then Devin additional came down 2 laps. I mean, overall, we had a good result for the team.
Well, congrats on the P3. One more week to go. We go to Indianapolis, a place we know that you run very well at. So we will see you in the week when we go to Indy. But until then, enjoy the P3.
I actually won't be here next week. So.
Oh, this is it for you.
This is it. Yeah.
I'm
being called out of town for work.
Oh, well, okay. Go work. We will allow that excuse. But we'll catch you at the next one, whenever that might be. But it's always good to have you in the lineup.
Oh, you betcha. I love to race. Till later, guys. Stay safe.
The points are updated, and actually, I said Clindy got 6 wins. I maybe I said that wrong. This is his 5th win of the season, and he is 17. So he came into this race 10 over Goodman. He is now 17 over Goodman. Then it is 19 back to Wagner, 17 back to Rigney, and then 11 back to Kirby. For sure, the top 3 have a shot at the championship going into Indianapolis. I don't know exactly who's still mathematically eligible. I'll need to do some math later this week and to be able to determine that. But for sure, the top 3, there might be an outside shot for Rigney there in 4th to be mathematically possible. I can't speak officially for Kirby, but I definitely the top 3. So that's what it is. It's Clindy leads by 17. Goodman in 2nd, 19 over Wagner. Wagner in 3rd, 17 over Rigney. Rigney in 4th, 11 over Kirby. Kirby in 5th, and actually it's a tie. No, that's not a tie. Kirby's just 11 points over Hearn in 6th. All right, let's bring up our next driver, and let's just we'll talk about the last lap with Lionel Callisto, and we'll also ask him, why didn't you just go ahead and qual? So we'll bring up Lionel Callisto. Here he is, Lionel Callisto, best result of the season for the former Truck Series and Xfinity Series champion. I guess the first thing is we notice you've been doing the worst to first challenge, and with the help of a fortuitous caution, it really brought you to the front this time. But why save yourself all the headache and just do a good qualification run?
I don't know. I just like being back there just to start a race. Like it's just flexible fuel strategy. Like the first 2 stops, I was just saving fuel and just riding along. Wasn't even trying. Also, I just don't want to take out like any of the leaders out because I'm not I missed 4 races already. I think 3 races. So
yeah,
I'm up there driving really hard, take somebody out, then it's not a good look for me. But I like just the flexibility back there, and then learn the car more under dirty air and stuff. Make some adjustments when I try to charge up front. But it worked out perfectly for tonight.
Well, let's talk about that last lap battle with Clindy. What happened between you two, kind of going side by side in the turns 3 and 4, your side of the story, how you saw it, and any other thing that happened during the race that you want to point out, go right ahead. But we definitely want to hear kind of your side of things and on that last lap battle.
I mean, it was a good race, like a good battle in the end. I was not expecting a little bump, honestly. But it kind of threw me off. A couple times, I tried to back off a little bit, see if I can get a run under his draft, but I just couldn't get it to work on the outside. Tried to make a move on the inside, but it was just all locked up. And right before that caution, I almost ran out of fuel. I was about to go in right when the caution came out, then I pulled out. Then ended up running out of fuel right when I was entering the pit. So surprised,
wow.
Barely making it. So it worked out perfectly. But yeah, it was a fun race. I had a good time. I thought it was a clean race, and yeah, it was fun.
Well, it's been a while since we talked to you. It was on a regular basis we would talk to you during the Xfinity and Truck Series, but good to finally have you back here on the IndyCar side of things. We hope to see more of you up at the front as we hopefully maybe go to another season here soon. We shall see. I don't know what the actual next season's going to be quite yet. But any shout-outs?
Mistakes.
Any shout-outs?
Speeding in the pits, passing on their yellow. I was just getting all of it this season, just making too many mistakes.
And that's all it is with IndyCar. One little mistake, and it's just so tough to dig yourself out. But you have any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to before we let you go?
Friends, family, Sim Motion, the broadcast crew, P1, and then everybody part of the league. Yeah, pretty much it.
Well, it's good to have you back. LGN declares you as the LGN driver of the race. 19 spots improved today. A very typical Lionel Callisto type performance. Good to have you back on the podium. Good to talk to you again, champ, and we'll check you at the next one.
Thank you, guys.
And that is Lionel Callisto. And we will go to Clindy now and see if we can find Clindy. There he is. He's down in general chat. Hopefully don't rip away from an in-depth conversation with Rick Ray Vaughn down there. But here we go.
The answer.
What's that?
Oh, just waited for the answer of the Raven. And then you're going to pull up. It's going to be, oh, this is the answer. Okay.
Rick's about ready to give him the secret to speed. And right, whenever he's ready to sell him, I rip him out. Clint's like, no, put me back. Put me back. Here he is. We'll bring him on up here if I can do that. Here we go. And here he is with the 5th win of the season. Clindy on the home track, home game, gets the win. Congratulations. You extend your points lead. You now managed to get another 7 points out of it going into Indianapolis. It's still a race to be decided, but a big win here today. Statement win here on the end of precipice at the end of the season. Talk about the race, and then certainly talk about the last lap battle with Callisto and your side of what was going to go on there.
Yeah, I guess thank you so much to everyone who puts this league on and the ISRA, Mike Rigney. This setup in this track combo was amazing. It produced some awesome racing. Every line of the track was usable. You could not just hold the white line. You saw me and Craig try to do that, and we got passed on the outside both times. You could go anywhere. It was really, really incredible product. So my only complaint about the race is that it was the wrong number of laps. It was a fuel save from the very beginning. So nobody really wanted to race at the beginning until, everyone got their 42 or 43 laps of fuel in the tank. So that's kind of unfortunate. So once those cautions kind of put us into a marginal save situation where I think it was 40 to go or whatever, I got my save out of the way, and then I started pushing, and I thought I was good, and I got the 5 laps to go call in the Geico restart zone coming to 5 to go. So I was about 1,000 feet short on fuel coming 5 to go, and I'm like, okay, I think I can save that. So I started flipping between map 2 and map 3, and started doing that and fiddling with my fuel maps instead of with my weight jacker, and I think I left it up a little too high. If you go back and watch the last lap, I come off of turn 2 on the last lap, and I almost spin out. It kicks out for me, and then I have to gather it up down on the apron. That was definitely not the fastest way to approach that, and so I just wanted to pinch Callisto up in the wall. I didn't mean to hit him, but I didn't change my weight jacker still, so my entry was kind of messed up, and I did make contact, and it was my mistake, but I did what I had to do to get the win, and I would do it again and hopefully not blame it on my weight jacker. Like I would pinch him up there for sure. I didn't mean to get into the side of him, but I did do it, and I do want to say I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry that I won because I had the fastest car today. I was the best driver today, and Lionel did a great job fighting me clean and fair, and I'm a little disappointed in myself that I didn't race him the way he raced me. But circumstances dictate that, and I just have to get better at focusing under pressure. So that way I don't make those mistakes, because, I'm simply just a better driver than that. And, but yeah, I've been wanting to win here on stream for a really long time, and I'm very glad that I did, because Chicagoland's my home track. It's the first track I ever witnessed a professional race at. It's the first track I saw Indy cars run around at. So it's just a very, very cool feeling, to be here in Victory Lane at the Chicagoland Speedway.
Let's talk about it was almost a little bit of a role reversal. You pretty much when that caution came out, you were dominating and or with the group that was well ahead of Goodman for much of the race, and Goodman was kind of languishing back in 10th, doing the same thing that you guys were doing, saving fuel, but still well behind you. And never really quite showing the pace to kind of move up forward. But then when you guys all started coming to pit road for that final stop, then he caught the caution. He caught the caution at the right time. It got a pass in front of you momentarily. It's like, oh, come on. Yeah, all this time we're doing everything right to keep him behind me for the entire race. And then the one time I go to pit road and then the caution comes out. And then when I rejoin the racetrack, all of a sudden now he's, 3 cars in front of me as the leader. You must have thought that, things were kind of getting stacked against you in a relative short amount of time for no other reason other than just bad luck.
I mean, it's not bad luck. I mean, I could have saved an extra lap on both of my stints, right? And I could have been a lap to the good from where Goodman was, but I chose to stretch it out and hang on to Wagner's coattails and Rigney's coattails and say, you know what, I think the gap is more important than saving an extra lap because I had my number and I thought I was good. And I realized that after we executed pit road green the first time, that it was probably a safe bet that we could do it again. So it wasn't bad luck at all. I made a choice. There was agency in my hands to put me in that position. And then when Craig called his pit, I decided to pit that lap, even though I could have gone one more because I wanted to draft with him and keep him in tabs because I knew Craig and I were going to be the only ones to make it with pace to the end. Mm-hmm. So I was basically deciding whether or not I wanted to roll the pit road and run out like coming to my pit box because I had just enough fuel to do that. And I felt uncomfortable. Like if I missed my pit box, or if I lost a draft from Craig because I ran out a little sooner than I thought, I would really be in trouble. And so I figured I'd pit with him and he called it out on the backstretch at an appropriate time. But if he had called it like at the start finish line, I would have been able to not like, I let him pass me because I thought I was going to follow him for that next lap and be like, okay, I'm going to make sure I don't run out. I'll hit a monster number on this last lap. But he called his pit as soon as I let him pass me, and I let him pass me, right? So if I had went into pit or if I'd been further ahead of Craig, I would have been able to come out of the pits I think right ahead of Goodman, and I wouldn't have needed to take the wave, right? I would have been waved around naturally because I would have beat the pace car for the leader off of pit road, but it just wasn't meant to be that way. And I love a challenge, so I did a little bit of a worst to first, if you will, on that last set. It was really, really fun to pick my way through the leaders there and save just enough fuel to race really hard to the end. I really wish the whole race had been that way. I think we would have put on a great show. I think we were 3 wide a couple times for the lead. I really hope you guys really enjoyed the show tonight.
One more race to go. Do you got what it takes to close this thing out at Indianapolis, a place that you have definitely upped your game at?
I wouldn't say that, Gary. I mean, okay, so it's unfair to me, right? When I lose at Indy or when I don't do well at Indy, I get beat by like the 7 or 8 best dudes on the service at Indianapolis. And, Robert Malechka, Adriano Pinheiro, Adam Blocker, Phil Kraus are not in this league, right? So if I can come home with a top 3, top 5 next week, that's all I need to do. There's no way Goodman can put 17 points between us, and I have the tiebreaker if I just bring the car home. So, I will not be full attack next week at Indy, but I'm just going to keep the fenders on the car, finish all the laps, bring it home wherever I need to be, and I'm not going to push. I'm going to play it smart. So hopefully that strategy will bring me good fortune, and I won't get caught up in a couple incidents that aren't my fault or have to tow or anything like that. Hopefully I'll have it locked up coming to the white flag. We will see.
Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. Been a big home game for you. So I know you got some family that don't live much more than a couple of hours away from the racetrack that in real life that you want to shout out.
Yeah, you take a couple of roads to get to I-39. And my cousin Craig Segerman lives right down south on I-39 in Minonk, Illinois, where Segerman Farms is. They're on my car. The best corn in the world is grown right here in Illinois. And if you need any agribusiness needs, you can contact him. I can put you in touch with him if you don't have his contact information or if you can't Google Segerman Farms, and I will help you out. My mom, my dad, who are downstate, just a little bit away from Minonk in Washington. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I know I put on a show. I hope I made mom hoot and holler. Shout outs to my friends in Peoria, Ryan and Hannah Sykes. They've been tuning in recently, and I really want to congratulate them or thank them for tuning in, and they congratulate me when I win or when I do well or some move that I thought was really cool. So Ryan's a very attentive and observant watcher, and I feel so so thankful that he finds these enjoying and that he's proud of me when he watches me. He used to be my boss and he turned into one of my very best friends. I married him. I got ordained to marry him and his wife, Hannah. And Hannah's one of my very best friends. We all met when we were working at a movie store in Central Illinois. So shout outs to Family Video Movie Club, the now defunct FamVid. Shout outs to my sister, to my friends Hillary and Catherine who live in Champaign-Urbana. Again, not too far from the racetrack. You just take 57 right up north. Shout outs to my friend Alex who lives in Bloomington, my very best friend in the world. And shout outs to my friends Casey and Elliot, the car boys, if you will. So hopefully I'll be home soon. I can see you all. I was really hoping to clinch today so I could just not race at Indianapolis and go to Illinois next week, but wasn't meant to be. So one more shout out is, or two more shout outs, sorry. One for Rogue Racing and my Rogue Racing teammates. Ty and Jacob showed up today. It was really fun to have them on the track. Felt more like an Indy fixed race that we won't have this week because it's the bye week. And everyone else in the Rogue Racing shop who helps set up these rocket ships when we have open and helps crunch numbers and talk strategy when we have fixed. And then shout outs to Shane Coker who runs the Votive Racing League. He helped me out a little bit with fuel numbers in this race once his day was over, which was nice of him. And that's how I knew I could make it 1,000 feet extra. So no burnouts today because I ran out of gas, but I didn't tear up this beautiful new car. We've got an all new paint scheme for season 2, and so far I am undefeated in league races with it. So I don't want to toot my own horn or say that it's going to be a trend that will continue indefinitely, but so far we're 3 for 3.
All right. Well, congratulations on the big win. And again, I think I said it was your 6th win this season. It's your 5th win this season. The points leader going into the final race. It's going to be exciting. Still multiple drivers in contention. We will see you in a week. Get your practice in. I know you will. And we will catch you at the next one. But congratulations on the big dub tonight.
Thank you so much, Gary. I'll see you then.
All right. He is out. I don't even have to drop him out of the channel. He just punches out. Here is the schedule one more time. And we just have one race to go, folks. That is it. It is Championship Monday next week at Indianapolis. Mr. Rigney decided to make the schedule and put Indianapolis last, like Tony George tried to do for the Indy Racing League back in 96 and 97, where he wanted to make Indianapolis the last race on the calendar. You can't do that in the real world racing because sponsorship companies' fiscal years don't run Indy 500 to Indy 500. Typically run fiscal years, right? But yeah, so they ended up dropping that. But in a fantasy world here in virtual racing, you can make Indianapolis last, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to make the true Super Bowl of racing. I don't care what NASCAR says. The true Super Bowl of racing continues to be and will always be the Indianapolis 500, and we're gonna decide it right there for the final race of the season next week with all these drivers. LGN, final thoughts from you on tonight. We saw a fast Rick out there. A lot of people shouting Rick out in chat. Thought he had a good shot at it. I don't think he would have had a shot at the win. I think he would have had to stop again if we went green. But the cautions got involved. And then when cautions didn't get involved, unfortunately, he caught a black flag, and that kind of ruined his chances. But it really kind of sealed the deal for everyone else who remained patient and stuck out there and decided to save fuel, because the fuel savers ultimately were the ones that inherited the lead when we had that caution that ended the fuel save situation.
Yeah, so it's something like Clenty said. He said it's really tough when you come into race, but you have to save the fuel. It's that's when all the race sport is this. You're going here and race, but you at the same time you have to save the fuel, because if you're not, you have to go to the end. And that's what Raven did. He won a race, but he raced by himself. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
He made a move on the first 15, 20 laps, and then actually lap 22, he went to the lead. And then he found himself on front because the other people is just all the drivers actually save the fuel to the end. And that's why it caused the problem. Actually, black flag for kind of weird situation with Gary Lovner and passed him on the yellow and on the caution. So kind of weird to analysis that point. About the championship, I think because the championship get the win and 100 points, I think it's only until Wagner to maybe the chance to win the race, because they started from the 100 to let's say today's 22 cars, so 79 points for the car 22. So it's really still, I think we have a one step to win the race, so to win the championship, Clendy. And that's what you have to do. Just go to there, stay quiet, don't mess. When you do that, you're getting more nervous. That's the problem. You're getting more nervous, more like, oh, if it happened this, somebody's going to spawn in front of me, and then I collected him. I have a one fast repair user, and then the next one is just getting nervous to go to the end. Yeah, he can stay on the back and do nothing and just bring the race. Sorry, bring the car to the end and win it. But yeah, everything could be happen in one race, and especially for Clendy when he tried to do for the championship. Goodman still and points, so 17. Nothing is close, and it's like happened with Will Power last season in Nashville. For just a small problem, we don't have any racing that problem about the seatbelt. Could be happen with Clendy for a small problem with somebody else, could be cost the championship. So it's gonna be open, still open for me. I think, I don't know if you just thinking about the same thing. It's still open until Wagner, and yeah. So nothing more to say. Next week, Indianapolis. I don't know, 900 laps, 150.
It will be next week, Indianapolis, 125. So it's going to be 500K in Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, if in 100 laps you have to save it, you have to save that 25 more. So, again, it's going to be saving fuel like every time when you race in Indianapolis. So, it's going to be fun. So, see you next Monday for the last one in ISRA. Yeah.
Yep, the next one for us here on P1. This is a light week. You'll see Mark and Sam Crow call the action at Las Vegas in the AMA Grand National Series on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. And then also at 8:30 p.m., Mark and Sam Crow again with the AMA Truck Series, also at Las Vegas, and that's on Friday. The next one for us on the IndyCar side of things will be this Sunday. Will be myself and Luis Gonzalez Nunez again with the Votive Indy Oval Series at Texas at 7:50 p.m. this coming Sunday. So it's a light week of action here because it is week 13 on iRacing, but next week here is going to be Championship Monday. We're going to decide a champion here for this inaugural season of the SimMotion ISRA Open Wheel Series. Let's get on out of here. Give everyone back their Monday nights. That's it for tonight. Once again, your podium from Chicagoland, Craig Forsyth. Another podium comes home third. Lionel Callisto, best finish of the season, comes home second. Clindy, win number 5, extends the points lead going to the final race of this season. He is on the top step. Join P1 again next week for Championship Monday and round 14 of the inaugural season of the SimMotion ISRA Open Wheel Series. As the teams and drivers head to Indianapolis, we will wrap up the season and crown a champion. Coverage begins around 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, that's 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Remember, as always, for the correct broadcast time in your area, you can find everything right here at YouTube at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not an easy one, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know your thought of tonight's race. And if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe. And while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more of P1's other iRacing programming, including, as we mentioned, the AMA on Thursday and Friday at 8:20 p.m., 8:30 p.m. Just be safe, be up at 8:20 here, and we will go live in time. And then also the Vote of Indy Oval Series at Texas on Sunday at 7:50 p.m. all right here on P1. The ISRA is sponsored by SimMotion. With over 50 combined years of experience in the community and industry, SimMotion is your one-stop strategy for everything you need for sim racing. Whether you still have your rookie stripes or you're a grizzled veteran looking for the next upgrade, check out their line of sim racing hardware, including top brands like Azatec Butt Kicker, Moza, Sim Magic, and more. Visit their online store today or follow one of the socials. All the links you need are in the description. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of our iRacing experience with the Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or follow them on X and Instagram. The links you need, again, are all in the description. So for Luis Gonzalez Nunez, everyone here at P1, SimMotion, and the ISRA, I'm Gary Gatto saying to all, good night and thanks for watching. And to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here next week for Championship Monday in Indianapolis for the next race of the SimMotion ISRA Open Wheel Series. Good night.